Hey, it's great to be alive and great to be on your show, man.
Great talking to you, man. Yeah, it is great to be alive, isn't it?
Man, I tell you what, Tesla has been through a lot of stuff over the past 35, 40 years, and we just went through some more heavy-duty stuff, but we're survivors, man. We're survivors, and we're stronger than ever. I'll tell you what, Cold Blue Steel is our brand new single, and the video's been out for 5 days, and it's already 75,000 views. Our loyal fans are loving it. They're hungry. We're even more hungry, and I don't know what else I can say about that, man. We're just pumped up.
I've been listening to Cold Blue Steel past couple days. I love the Skynyrd reference in it. I think that's awesome. What made you guys want to reference Skynyrd in that particular song?
Well, that's where the song started. I was in my garage, and JK, our singer, was on his way over to my house to get together and jam. And I had come up with that funky guitar riff, you know, that, you know, and it was grooving, and I was having fun with it. And he pulls up in his truck, and he's cranking up Saturday Night Special, like as loud as it can be, by Lynyrd Skynyrd in his truck. And he gets out, and then it's the first time I've seen him just so excited and pumped up in a long time, you know, because JK, he's a great guy, and sometimes he gets a little down, but that Lynyrd Skynyrd had him pumped up that day. And he came in the garage and was grooving on my riff. And I said, well, heck, man, let's write a song about what Ronnie's touching on here, because there's so much gun violence going on in the world. And now, don't get me wrong, man, we own guns and we're gun supporters, but, you know, there's definitely stuff going on that can be talked about.
Right.
Just like when we did Modern Day Cowboy, in 1986, we touched on words that were going on then with the terrorist demands in the USA, USSR. So we decided to write a song like that. But it all started off with Lynyrd Skynyrd, and like we say in the song, like what Ronnie says, dumping to the bottom of the sea.
Oh, I love that line, man. I was listening, and I was like, Ronnie, who are they talking about Ronnie? And I'm looking, and first thing I looked up was Ronnie Van Zant. I looked up Saturday Night Special, and yeah, that's awesome. And
that's
you know
where
what?
It came from
you know what? You're as gun owners, you know, I don't own a gun, but there's nothing wrong with owning a gun. Millions of people own guns in this country, and they do it the right way, and they follow the rules, and they do their safety certifications, and it's a very few people that do terrible things with guns. So
Right.
I understand what you're saying. There's nothing wrong with guns. It's some of the people that get a hold of guns that shouldn't have them in the first place. You know,
it's the people that get a hold of the controls of a jet airplane.
right?
Okay, it's the freaking intentions of people that we touch on in the song.
Yeah,
that's really the core of the matter. Whether you're a politician, whether you're a preacher, whether you're a cop, whether you're whatever you are, if your intentions are bad, that's what it is.
And so does this new song mean that there is an album on the way from Tesla?
There is, but it's not going to be the traditional way of making it of, oh my God, we got the deadline, the record company president calling and saying, you need to have this record done by such and such date, and I want you to finish 12 songs immediately. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be, we're going to write a song when we feel like it, and when it comes magically like this one did. And we're going to do it on the road, you know, because we're going to have a lot of time now on the road because we got new restrictions on the road. We can't just go out and have meet and greets and all this crazy time wasting stuff.
Right.
So we'll have a lot of time to write it. And I'd say, you know, after 9 or 10 months, it'll be ready because we're going to try to release a new single every month if we can.
Oh, nice.
And then we'll put it all together.
Right. And put it together in an album. That's kind of old school, but also new school, because that's how people consume their music these days, right? They, you know, a song here, a song there, whatever they're streaming here, they hear something on the radio, you know, and then, but that's
how it was done in the old days when rock and roll was first born, when Elvis Presley and the Beatles and all them guys would come out with singles, and then they'd put it on an album.
Right.
And then when the corporations and the deadlines and all that stuff got involved, albums became full-blown projects of trying to complete them for the purpose of selling. Then the music got sacrificed. Now, not unfortunately, but a lot of great albums that were made in entirety were bands just jamming in the studio, like Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin. And, that was a whole different vibe. That was really super freaking cool. If we could do that, that would be fun. But, these days it's not like that. And it gets back, it's come full circle down to making singles.
Now, you not only reference Skynyrd in Cold Blue Steel, but now you're going to go and do some dates with him, and that includes here in Massachusetts. You guys are playing on the 23rd at the Xfinity Center in Mansfield. You guys played with tons of people. I mean, geez, you've been a band for, 35 years or something like that. So have you ever played with Skynyrd before?
Oh, yes. We have a great friendship with Skynyrd. We were with them in the 90s when they did their reunion, when Billy Powell and Leon and Johnny and Gary, and they had Ricky Medlock, and they also had Huey Thompson from the Outlaws, and we did two shows with them then. And that all just happened by accident. When we wrote Cold Blue Steel, we had no idea that there was Lynyrd Skynyrd dates on the horizon. So that just shows you how magical that was, that we were going to get reunited with our friends,
Yeah, that's awesome. And you're calling this tour the Let's Get Real Tour. Is there any kind of significance behind that name, or is it just like Let's Get Real Drunk, or Let's Get Real Loud, or Let's Just Get Out There?
No. There's a lot of significance to it. First and foremost, it's from our song, Cold Blue Steel.
Okay, yeah.
That's
the chorus, yeah.
What's the blame? Some people say it's, they say it's the Cold Blue Steel, but let's get real. So that's the first annotation to it. But then, because for the past 2 years, all we've been able to do are these freaking video concerts and over the computer Zoom meetings and shit. So you can edit that, right?
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, you can speak freely. Go ahead.
So instead of doing concerts on the computer, we're going to do them for real live again. That's the goal.
And how much time off did you guys have? Like, when was the last time you had that much time off the road? Because a lot of bands talk about that too. Like, they hadn't had 2 weeks off in a row or a month off, in a row. That's
a great question, because it's ironic. We were on the Monsters of Rock cruise when COVID hit, and we decided, and everybody got shut down, and we came home. But a week prior to that, we had a band meeting, and I was asking the guys, hey, can we take a little bit of time off? Because we learned the hard way in the 90s, if you don't take time off, your band can get burnt out and tired. And I was honestly at a point to where I needed time off, because since the year 2000, when the band got back together, we created Into the Now, we created Forevermore, we created Simplicity, Twisted Wires, Reel to Reel. We made all these albums. We did the Phil Collins Shock album nonstop for almost 20 years. And I was asking for a break. So when COVID shut us down, it was actually a good time for Tesla to take a break. So, unfortunately, it was a tragic thing for the world.
Right.
But it did us good, man, because now we are fired up and freaking ready and more hungry than me personally, than I've ever been.
So is that something key? I mean, you guys have been around for, well over 3 decades. The key is maybe spending some time apart, or is that a band?
It is one of the keys. Taking a break is very important. Just like in boxing, man, they don't just throw them boxers out there for the full hour. The rounds are only so long, and then they take a break. Yeah. It's in life, you got to take a break, whether you're a rock and roller, a boxer, or a construction worker, man. Sometimes you got to step off the job a little bit and look at it and sit back.
Yeah. Now you're hungry. Now you're you've been away too long, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. Man.
Yeah. Well, we're looking forward to seeing you with Skynyrd over at the Xfinity Center in Mansfield, September 23rd. The new song's awesome, Frank. I mean, I've been a fan of you guys for a long time, and Cold Blue Steel is great. So seek that out. You can find it everywhere. But also, like you said, maybe down the line, look for some new songs coming out here, there. Whenever you guys are able to lay them down, I guess, right?
Definitely. We plan on, the one thing we learned from Phil Collins of Def Leppard is that it is possible to record and write an album when you're on tour. And so we are going to be doing that. And we're going to be setting up, Brian Wheat and myself will be setting up the recording machines in the dressing room.
Wow.
And putting it together. And it's going to be, we're really excited about it. But the difference is there's no deadlines and there's no buddy putting any pressure on us to write something that's not finished.
That is so awesome. And, you definitely get that kind of different vibe as opposed to being in a big recording studio. I guess it's not as sterile.
Yeah, but you have to put your mind to it. And that's the thing. We always had the mindset that it couldn't be done, but now we know that it can. And so it's all in your mind, man.
Yeah.
Everything that people do or don't do is because their mind either let them do it or they didn't let them do it.
Right.
It's all in your mind.
That's right, man. Well, Frank Hannon, thank you so much for taking the time. I appreciate it. Looking forward to seeing you guys with Skynyrd on the 23rd. Love the new tune and looking forward to more new tunes down the line. Thanks a lot, man.
Hey, I love it there. I'm looking forward to being there, and thank you, too.